Welcome to the Animated Science. And this is Dr. Bhaba Vishwas here. After a long time I came, so let's dive into the animated science. Um, Today I will talk about the cattle. Interesting, isn't it? We can't think anything less about cattle. It's kind of historical. Even if you see it in Australia, it's a nearly 24 million cattle and over 70 million sheep, and so you can multiply with the numbers in the world. That they're very important, of course, from food, nutrition, service, agriculture, you name it. But there is another side that we often now talk, and I have been this have been in the talk in the research quite a long time. One of the thing is the emissions. Of course, the cattle is being the top emitter in carbon dioxide equivalent, and of course, it's majorly it's coming from the methane, um, and, um, and sheep and other emissions, ruminant animals into that group as well. But what actually that ruminant animal, as you know, very short description is the ruminant is that where unlike one stomach, one chamber, they have four, and first one is the rumen, because they need to get some help to process the top plant materials before they just go for the digestion. That's what they call ruminant, and cattle is one of them, and sheep as well. So what actually that happened, if you see, when they graze or feed, and the same time the rumen been mm, activated, the process going on, and then the fermentations actually produce those methane. So this is a byproduct, biological, very natural, and it's very essential for the cattle, to be honest. But that not essential for the atmosphere, right? This is a very high potent greenhouse gas in the atmosphere. So this is a very tricky situations for everybody involved, with the livestock, with the normal people like me, scientists, government, everybody. So many things is going on, the research going on how to solve that. One of the things the people identify, this win-win situation will be through the feed, if they can. Remember, the feed also involved into we must need to consider that feed is the nutrition and the ultimate productivity. So tricky situations. So a researcher actually from my group came up with this very interesting, we call geophagy, because cattle often like to lick soil materials like a clay and other material. They love it. So if you find the right materials that can really do not harm, they do not harm, but they can reduce methane, that will be really interesting turning point. So they find some interesting materials which is called the mixture of kaolinite and halloysite, naturally occurring as a kaolin clay. And they found that it's really helped reduce methane, and how that occurs. So the two papers and some more paper is coming that try to unveil those. So what actually the clay deposit in Australia is a naturally occurring the platy kaolinite and the tubular halloysite is naturally occurring together. So they took these materials, very natural, no process involved, and then they just use into that feed, and then they feed that cattle feed, and then they feed to cattle. Basically it's in vitro, but the in vivo means in real animal studies also going on, and they found that there is a significant methane reductions, and no animal harm, means no sickness or other things. So those researchers try to understand what just happened, whether there is any other benefit. Well, it's revealed that it turned that particular these two paper. I think the many research the subsequent paper is coming from that group, but that time probably we know exactly what is happening biochemically and microbiologically and nutrition perspective. But these two paper, one of the like summary of this is that this shows that the clay particles, when this goes inside, that actually try to immobilize some of the bacteria and nematode and protozoa. So it's a very complex issue. You might think, so okay, if they immobilize, they're bad or good. That's a tricky point. So I think we will know later what really actual mechanism that animal been safe, but only methane bit reduced. Whether that's like it's like a kinetics, it's bit immobilized but not killed, so it's always reduced pathway, or there might be some feedstock of the methanogenesis that require let's say carbon dioxide plus hydrogen become methane in the process, whether one of those feedstock been hidden out or isolated so that the methane reduced but other microbes being safe and they are doing good. We'll know later, but one of the mechanisms this paper shows that the methane functionality, functional community reduced. And then one of the interesting point is the nematode, which is not intentions for this clay to do, but they actually immobilize some nematode, which is really good. Some quite some nematode are parasitic, so they immobilize mean they essentially boost up the gut health. So from this two paper, that's the message. Clay can really be helpful. I'll put the two articles reference here. You can go and check. This research is done from Sustainable Mineral Group in CHC Care and University of Newcastle. And we'll see you next animated science video. Thank you.